The goal of this video is to show you this awesome stuff and then have you book a call with me. But before we go there, I'm just super excited to share this stuff over here because over the past 2 years, I've been teaching business owners how to use LinkedIn so they can grow their agencies, get clients, and so on and so forth. But over this 30-day period, I got this 49 warm leads without using any LinkedIn. And in this video, I'm going to show you what has happened to LinkedIn now that leads me to believe that LinkedIn is not the only solution as a solopreneur or agency owner or a consultant that you should be using going forward for sure, especially in the medium and long run. So I hope you're as excited as I am because we're about to get started. Okay, I'm going to be very blunt and ask why LinkedIn sucks for business owners, consultants, and founders that don't want to call direct message right now. So the algorithm on LinkedIn has changed. And if you're not into call direct messages, if you're not into the continuous on inbox stuff, LinkedIn is horrible. Personally, I hate this. It's always like you're begging people, I mean, I know how to do this stuff, but it's just this over and over again and again. It's a never ending cycle. I don't have any patience for this. I want a very different approach. I want people to know me when they get into my funnel. And I want to talk to people that are already aware of who I am, they trust me, they respect me, and so on and so forth. So why does LinkedIn suck? Now, I'm going to start with this algorithm change that I just mentioned. There was a big time change and the reach has dropped dramatically. And I'm not making this up. In fact, you can go on out there, check out, say, Reddit, and this is the post from 8 days ago. And it says the problem is that my reach is dropping constantly. And I also reached out to a whole bunch of my connections on LinkedIn. Everybody says the same thing. The reach has gone down. Now LinkedIn also removed the video feed, so it's not like TikTok anymore. The videos on LinkedIn is a horrible thing right now. The reach has gone down. So the amount of effort that you need to put into it just to get something out of it is gone really, really crazy. And there was a guy commenting there as well. He's saying, "Oh yeah, my organic reach fell off a cliff last week, and I appear to be doing all the right things." As you can see, this is like everywhere, and this is something that LinkedIn has done, and we're not yet sure if it's going to stay or not. I also want to mention that this is something I anticipated back in the day, and this is why you're seeing me speak about this thing right now on this video here. Now, before we go any further, guys, if you're liking this video so far, or expect to like it, it's very hard to be funny with this stuff. So if you like this, then please like and subscribe. It shows me some love. It tells the algorithm that I'm at least okay. I'm at least aware of some things, and you find this video at least helpful. So that shows me love. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now we are going to continue. I mentioned this, the algorithm change. Now, LinkedIn now, so I want to explain a little bit the algorithm. LinkedIn is, even though it removed this video feed, it's not TikTok anymore, but the way the algorithm works is it's all about this interruption marketing. So there are two very, very important aspects for LinkedIn posts. First one is the hook. Yeah, so the how likely are you to stop the person from the scroll? And the second thing is the retention, whether people go through your post or watch your video, whatever it is that they do. If that happens, the algorithm will be like, oh yeah, this guy seems to be producing good quality content, so we're going to give him more reach. And that's how all content LinkedIn works now. So before it was something different, and I'll show you what it was before in a moment. But now that's the way it works, and it's really horrible right now. And interaction marketing is a tricky thing. I was in the metro the other day. I was going here in Buenos Aires and the metro. When I'm in the metro, I usually look at people's people's phone screens because curious. And every time they kind of like they feel like I'm looking, they kind of look at me. So I look back, so they don't catch me doing that, or can kind of guess that. So let me know in the comment section below if you're a bit of a lurker like that. But anyway, that's not the point. I see she's scrolling through LinkedIn, and she's just going like this through the feed, so all the way. That's pretty much what you have to achieve with this scroll stop and stuff. Yeah, you have to be able to pause, like to get her to stop scrolling. This lady in the metro, somebody sitting on the toilet, like you have to stop them, and that's really tough. Like you really need to understand human psychology. You need to understand how to grab the attention of a certain population because now you have to tell the algorithm you're actually good. Okay, and that is very, very tricky, especially when people don't know you. they don't know who you are, so it's really, really tricky. The next thing, it's all about this consistency and consistently good content. And I already mentioned this. LinkedIn has become like a TikTok. Yeah, so people like they check out your performance on the post, but it's also not just the current post performance. It's your previous performance of the post. So if you created, like if you went entire week creating crappy posts that didn't get engagement, then LinkedIn is like, well, seems like this guy or girl, they're not so good. So we're not going to give them all this reach going forward until they get better. So you really need to show up, and you really want to give LinkedIn your best every single time. And this is kind of crazy what people are doing there right now. So you have to show up all the time. You have to be consistent, and it's very, very tough, and it sucks. The next big problem is that the audience on LinkedIn is mostly not problem aware, and that's a huge problem. And I'll explain you what this means right now. Here is the not so exciting but important to understand buyer's pyramid. It was coined by a very famous American author and a sales coach called Jack Holmes. And Chad used to go around the country, and every time he was giving these talks, he would ask the audience if they were in the market for certain things, like, oh, in the market for new tires in the car, are you looking for a dentist? And he discovered that there was a certain percentage of people, and it's almost constant, that people were at a certain stages of their buyer's journey for whatever thing he was asking about. And here are the percentages. The first one, the 3% of the audience, or any audience, they are aware of the problem that they have, and they're actively looking for a solution. So I know I need to go to the dentist, and I'm already looking through my Google Maps, reading the reviews of the dentists around the neighborhood. I'm aware, I'm looking for it. Next one is they are aware of the problem, but they're not yet looking for a solution. In my case, it would be, okay, I know I have to go to the dentist, but I'm not looking for a solution still. So I'm not on Google checking out the dentists. But if I'm going on the street and I see some ad or whatever, like an offer from a dentist, outside or whatever, I'm like, oh, I like this offer. I know it's a good offer. I know it's a good dentist. I'm going to check them out. Okay. So that's this 7% of your audience. 30% of the entire audience not thinking about it. So they're not even problem aware just yet. Next 30%, they don't think that they're interested. So again, they're not aware of this thing, but they don't think they're interested either. And that takes a lot more education than get the first 30% to kind of on your side. And then the last 30% is that they know they're not interested. So these are people that will never buy, they'll never go to the dentist. But you get the idea, that's the point. And when it comes to LinkedIn, people are kind of like in all of this, like it's the entire triangle. Yeah, so all those people, they come to LinkedIn and they're like, we're all kind of wandering about, waiting until something grabs our attention well enough for us to kind of react. But the problem is that we also don't react super fast. We need some time. This is when the psychology kicks in. There was an interesting research. I haven't put it in the presentation, but still mention it. This came out some time ago. It's like the Google study. And and I see different people mention it. So it's 7, 11, 4. So it's the 7 hours of interaction with your content. So people need to trust you first. And 11 is the number of interactions people they have with you. So these are separate occasions. And 4 stands for separate locations. So people see you, say, if they see you live, if they see you in YouTube videos, if they see you somewhere else, whatever it is, that's where the 4 kind of accumulates. So you want to build up this, you want to build all this stuff together. So it's like very unlikely that somebody's going to purchase from you from a single post because they don't know you. The next crazy thing is that LinkedIn has this thing with followers. And I kind of never believe in this followers thing. Is I really never cared, because at the moment I started doing it, I already had like crazy amount of followers, which came from absolutely, I don't know from where. But for some people, I mean, I see this in the feed. They're like, oh yeah, I got 10K followers, or I got 20K followers, or I got like whatever K followers. Followers on LinkedIn is probably the most useless thing ever, because there's absolutely no way to do anything with that. And I'll show you. I'll show you. So here's this wonderful lady that has almost 1 million followers. 1 million. That's a lot of followers. I mean, on any platform. If you say you've got like 1 million followers on Instagram, 1 million followers on TikTok, people are like, wow, that's crazy. Wow, but on LinkedIn, they're absolutely useless. These are her 2 posts. And I mean, nothing bad towards the lady. I mean, whatever, it's just to illustrate how just crazy this is. This is her engagement: 75 likes and 6 comments, 63 likes and 5 comments to repost on the posts that she published 15 and 22 hours from the moment when I took the screenshot. Insane. almost 1 million followers and the performance like this. Talking of the algorithm change, right? Huh? Crazy. The next craziest thing ever is that LinkedIn, for all the content, all the effort that you put into it, create like perfecting your copywriting skills, because LinkedIn is written only, primarily written kind of platform. Content dies out super quick. Even though they introduced this thing where more like content that's kind of like getting some momentum, they still show it to people for longer. Like it still dies out like very quickly. The half life of content of any post is usually like a couple of days, and it's not searchable. People don't go to LinkedIn to search for posts. It's something you kind of read in the moment, and then you either kind of like pass it through, or you kind of do something with it, but it's not searchable. So all this effort that you would say, even a week, yeah. So if you're writing posts, if you're really putting in some effort, it takes time. And no matter how good of a copywriter you are, you're still investing time. You're thinking about it, you're writing it down. So there's a lot of like effort that goes into this, no matter how good you are. Even in fact, if you're a bad copywriter, might even you're really into the nitty gritty of all of it. But the content is not searchable. So you spend like these hours and hours of like creating content for LinkedIn, but it just disappears somewhere. And that's, to me, it's just madness. So these are like some of the negative aspects. I'm sure there are tons of more aspects right now. I would just mention kind of the key points that kind of came into my mind. For me, it's insane. What's the, as we say in Spanish, by the way, I'm not Spanish, but as we say in Spanish, I live in Argentina. ¿Cuál sería la alternativa? Which in English translates to, so what would the alternative be? And you can see here, I'm in a wonderful poncho that I purchased in a wonderful place called San Antonio de Areco if you ever visit Argentina. Anyway, the alternative is exactly what I used to get all these 49 leads on the screenshot and that I showed you at the start. But, 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 by the way, this is my ex's dog. But before I mention the alternative, I want to mention the following. First of all, the method that I'm going to introduce you now, you don't need any followers. Important. Like, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. Just like with LinkedIn, you saw, it doesn't matter how many followers you have if your direction is absolutely dead. You don't need any experience as well. If you have it, it's fine, but you don't need it. This is the best part. You don't need to show up every day. Like, you can show up as frequently as you wish or as little as you wish, and it doesn't matter. You don't need any expensive gear as well. Absolutely nothing. And you don't need to do anything crazy to get those leads every single month. Though that quantity you even more. You don't need to do anything crazy. And it's all very, very easy to get started. The thing is, what am I on about? It's YouTube. You might have already guessed this by now because I kind of mentioned it at the start. Because if I was relying on LinkedIn organic reach, like I mentioned at the start, I knew this is going to happen. This organic reach is going to go down because it always goes like this. It's like Facebook being like this, Instagram being like this, TikTok being like this. LinkedIn was following the same path. It was clear. So I kind of was like, okay, this is definitely going to happen. I need to go to YouTube and build out this channel for when this stuff happens. And this is exactly what am I doing right now. And I'm so happy I can say, man, I was so smart, so good. I'm not. Like I screw up like 9 times out of 10, but this time I didn't screw up. So really, really happy myself. Good job, Artem. Good job. Anyhow, I'm going to show you why YouTube kicks LinkedIn in the medium long run, because still LinkedIn is great for certain aspects, especially for short-term kind of client acquisition, because you can really pinpoint who exactly, like it's so easy to find people and to get in touch with them. So that's why LinkedIn is really, really good. But obviously I'm pushing now the YouTube agenda. So I'm explaining why it kicks LinkedIn here. Okay. Here's why. First of all, something I mentioned before, LinkedIn is all about this interruption marketing. Yes, you have to get this calling lady on the metro, you have to get her to stop. LinkedIn is all about this right now. But on YouTube, people come for learning and entertainment. So that's why I'm kind of trying to be funny, yeah, with this not funny subject, and probably hate my personality. If you hate it, I don't know why you're still watching, but if you like it, well, we'll keep going. People come for learning already, so it's a different mental kind of setup. Like people already come in here, mostly men, by the way. So this is predominantly male platform. So they come in. I need to find this thing. Also, YouTube is integrated into Google. I get a lot of video views from Google search. So people go to Google and then they search for something, and then my video shows up and they click it, they check it out. So it's already very different because on LinkedIn you have to almost like, yo, here's my stuff. Like, check me out. On YouTube, you're like sitting aside almost like fishing. You have the bait there. You're just kind of fishing, waiting for it. So that's the difference. A huge, huge difference. The next bit that I mentioned is all about how to put consistently good content, because otherwise the algorithm will kind of bash you. All right. It actually happened to me. That's why I speak from experience. You can create as much or little content on YouTube. Of course, YouTube also wants your content to be highly, like, it wants it to be like, have, how do you say that in English? You have to have this retention anyway. So I want you to watch my video as much as possible. That's why you can just, have it on and just leave afterwards, but like have it on for the algorithm. Thank you. But the thing is, it's much easier. Yeah, because the intent is different. So people are, again, they're in a different state, psychological state when they search for something. So they're not like, with LinkedIn, you really want to kind of explain them why they have to read the thing. Like the hook needs to be crazy. Whereas in YouTube, it's like, yes, all these things, they need to be good, but people are more likely to watch your thing regarding. This is my YouTube video, how to post on LinkedIn. It's 10 minutes, 35 seconds. And I just want to show you just the amount of views it got after like 288 days into. And as you can see, this stuff is accumulating. And this post, like this thing was super easy to make. It took me maybe like an hour. I would probably spend the same time writing a LinkedIn post right now. It's just to illustrate this. It doesn't have to be like amazing content. It just has to be good. And this is the metrics for the past 48 hours on this video. I want to compare this with LinkedIn just to illustrate what am I talking about when it comes to this content thing. This is my post, and I took the post from like 2 months ago. This is a short video that I put together from 2 months ago in order to show you, like, in order to give it a chance to accumulate the views. As if I knew this is not happening because that's not how the algorithm on LinkedIn works. But I only got like this post got 489 impressions, and here are the metrics. So it reached 182 members. I got 131 video views the whole time, 24 minutes, 5 seconds, 11 seconds average watch time, but the video is pretty short, so that's a pretty long average watch time for this video. Let's compare this. You see, it's like 69 views in the last 48 hours for the video I showed you, and this sad kind of state of affairs. And this video that I'm showing you here, yeah, for LinkedIn, it was posted back when when the LinkedIn video feed was still out there. So again, just to show you, like, this video got almost 9,000 views compared to 131 video views. Goes to show. Remember how I said that on LinkedIn, the audience is mostly not problem aware, and that's a huge problem. Well, on YouTube, the audience is more likely problem aware, simply because of they're already there. Intent, their search intent is different. So when they see this stuff, it shows up in their feed. If it's suggested content, or it's if they do a search, the state of mind is so different, and that's just that the difference is massive. Next bit is on LinkedIn, followers don't matter, and you can't do anything with them. And that's true. I showed you that it doesn't matter if you got any followers. On YouTube, however, followers see your content first, plus you can retarget them with super cheap ads afterwards. This stuff is a little bit more advanced, but at least you can do something with these followers. You can actually go and tell YouTube, okay, YouTube, I want you to use these followers to do whatever. Because you can create lookalike audiences, you can create like all this stuff. And if you are scaling afterwards, you can scale from organic in a very cost-effective manner. You just show people your organic videos, they get the views, and then you can retarget anybody who's seeing your videos. Beautiful. And that you can all do on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, content dies out quickly. It's not searchable. YouTube, content is evergreen and searchable. I hope you've already seen how YouTube is just far more superior for medium and long-term strategy. But obviously, you have the objections as I can expect. Let's go through all of them. The first one is you need a lot of subscribers. But we already spoke about this. Look, I only have 1,600 almost subscribers. That's a tiny amount of subscribers. I'm nowhere, like, my subscriber count is growing so slow. And in reality, you don't need that. You really don't need that, because you can get these views. And I'm sure it happened to you. It's like you watch somebody's video on YouTube, you don't subscribe to them, but then you start seeing their videos all over and over again. Seeing different videos, you kind of binge watch those videos as well. It's just the way it works. You don't need a lot of subscribers on YouTube to get it working. Especially now, YouTube is pushing like these creators with smaller subscriber accounts. Like, I see this in my feed all the time, like videos that get like 120 views, whatever, like tiny amounts. YouTube is kind of pushing them out to see what's going on. The second thing is that you need professional gear. I'm filming. If you could have seen my setup right now, it'd been crazy. But I've got my phone here. I've got a light. That's something you definitely need. Like the light is necessary, and you need good quality sound. So I've got like a mic here that I got, super inexpensive as well. But that's about it. This video on LinkedIn automation tools that is almost 16 minutes, and this is my best performing video on this channel, and it got slightly over 15,000 views for, and you can see this, it's been published 612 days ago, and it's still picking up views. So I recorded this video with a wall behind me with a screen share video just like this one pretty much, and it's doing pretty well. You don't need any crazy stuff. Okay, the next thing you can say is that, oh, you need a lot of video views. Artem, your video got over 15,000 views. Of course you're going to get leads that way. You're kind of right, but you're kind of wrong at the same time, because here are my videos for the past month. 26 views, 53 views, 208 views, 87 views, 193 views. Not crazy amount, as you can tell. The problem is that people, especially for niche service businesses, agencies, whatever, you got a small client pool, like you compare yourself to like this TikTok performers that have like millions of views or whatever it is. But if you think about it, this is the mind shift that I had. If you have an audience of, even like my first video is it's been only published like 21 hours ago. It's got 26 views. Even if you have like 26 people in that audience who listen to you live, you're going to convert like one or two of them. That's just maths. That's just the way it works. Once you understand that this is real people, it's not just like some random views from whoever, from bots. These are real people that check out your videos. Like my mind shifted like that. I invite you to think about it in the same manner. That's just important, because then you also start caring more about your audience, even if it's small audience. All right. Next then is you need to look fancy. The next objection. And again, I told you this video got more than 15,000 views over a almost 2 year period. I didn't look fancy. I had like a funny wall behind me, screen share video, 16 minutes, nothing else. So how to get started with the stuff that I'm trying to sell here. And by the way, remember that the goal of this video is to show you this stuff and then invite you to have a call with me. But I'll give you more information about that at the end of this video. But before this, I want to make sure that you understand that it's not for everybody. This is important, because I'm like, yeah, YouTube is awesome. It's not for everybody. So we have to be upfront about this. Here's what's important. First of all, you need to have achieved some sort of result. That's the first or the second question that I ask my prospects all the time. It's like, okay, have you worked with somebody and what sort of result have you achieved? Because if you haven't figured this stuff out already, no, not yet. You have to go out there, prove the result. Like I started this video by saying, look, here's the result that I achieved. Some people look at it, it's laughable for them. Other people look at it, they're like, wow, how did you do this? But this is a result nonetheless. This is something you want to show people how to do. Because if you have done this already, the chances are you can replicate your results once again pretty high. The next thing is you need to have a clear understanding of your ideal client profile. This is tricky. And in fact, I often have people that are slightly confused by ideal client profile. Understandable, but you need to have this understanding, just like more or less, yeah, where you're at, because otherwise, what sort of result have you achieved and who was this for? Next bit is the demographics. So that's what ICP consists of. And the second thing is the psychographics. I'll give an example now in a moment, just to mention this. This one is important. You want to understand the problem awareness path. How do your ideal clients get to understanding that they need you? When does this occur? When do they understand that they need your service? You have to understand this decision making path. How do they figure this stuff out? And of course, you need a high ticket offer. $1,000 per month is an absolute minimum, and you have to know how to fulfill this. And of course, the track record, I mentioned it once again, that goes to the first part of what I mentioned. You need to have achieved certain results. Time for the example. In my case, this is agency owners, consultants, and solopreneurs. Agency owners, because I come from an agency background. I used to run an SEO agency for almost like 6 years. I had people hired working remotely, so I understand the dynamics of an agency, like a small agency. I know how it works. Consultants and solopreneurs. Well, I am a consultant and solopreneur right now because I'm a one-man show. I use a lot of different tools, but I'm a one-man show. So I understand how this works, and I understand that it's totally possible to build this stuff out that I'm showing you now as a consultant or a solopreneur because I have done it myself. Next then is you have to be in business for at least 3 years because again, that way I make sure that you understand your business and you have an offer, you have the track record, you understand this stuff. You also have understood that the referrals are unreliable. You like the referrals because closing them is so easy, but they're not reliable and you want to have a bit more control. You want to have this influx of leads and prospects coming in your way. Next is that you know that cold outreach is a waste of time. You have done this, you kind of understand how this works, but you just hate this stuff because it's all over and over again. You have to reach out to people, talk to them, they're not ready, sales cycles, da da da. Oh, so I hate this stuff. Like, I really hate this stuff. That's why I don't do. I used to do it. I don't like it. Ads are also expensive. We know this. LinkedIn alone is not the option they like. And again, this comes from the standard. The algorithm has changed on LinkedIn. DMs. You have to leave these comments as well, and when they're stupid posts. Ugh, I don't know. I hate this so much. It's just there's a lot of like there's so much pretentiousness on LinkedIn. It's just I hate this. Anyway, next point is that you want warm leads that are easy to close, and that comes from the fact that people watch the videos. So in this case, you're watching my video, like, oh, this guy not too stupid, so I'll keep watching. Want leads to respect them. I don't know. This is the big one for me. It happened. So I had like people reach out to me, not reach out to me, but like when I reach out to them, it's a different dynamics. Yeah. Cause I'm reaching out to them. Yeah. Because so I need this, not them, but I need this. So it's a very kind of different situation. Let's put it this way. It kind of changes with time as your social proof goes up, as people know you. So when you reach out, they're like really happy, but this is a long time and it might not even happen for many people. Long enough time period. And of course, my clients, they want to be able to charge a premium price, maybe even more than they're charging right now, simply based on the fact that leads come their way. Yeah, so now they can come because once you've got leads coming in your way, so you've got 40 plus leads coming in every single month in your pipeline, in your nurturing kind of setup, of course you can now start trying to charge more. But what you do, because you know that they're still coming in next month and then month after that, and so on and so forth. Once you figure it out, the entire flow looks like this. Remember, you have to write this stuff down. It's crazy complicated. It's just one thing. Your videos go to the scheduling calendar. So people check out your videos, like you're checking out my videos, and then they go click the calendar link and they book a call with you. I am a little bit oversimplifying this process. But in reality, if you were to do it all by yourself, you know, the simplest, easiest way to start is this. You have the videos, go to your schedule calendar. That's it. Of course, I'm making it a little bit more complicated because the devil is in the details. Like what video topics you should cover, how to record and edit the thing. What's the actual final steps for people that don't convert now. And this is the majority of people. How to nurture your audience, what software to use without paying or paying much, all this stuff and a lot more. You know yourself. You start doing your thing, you think you have it figured out, and then you're like, oh, how to do this? What do I write in the title? What tags do I use? How to write the description? What's the pin and comment for? So on and so forth, all this stuff. So this is where I come in and I help you build this little YouTube system that will pretty much passively generate you 40 or more leads per month going forward. And this is my offer. I will help you to get started and I will help you with understanding your ICP, something I already mentioned, but something that all the time there is a problem. The exact moment they need you. In my case, the exact moment is that you tried direct messages, you know it works, but you hate it. You know that the referrals are unreliable. You've seen the changes in the algorithm on LinkedIn. You want to diversify. You have a little bit of cash, so you have time to spare. Yeah, you understand that this stuff takes a bit of time to build up, but once you have it, it's working pretty well for you in the years to come. It's a beautiful investment that the sooner you do, the better, the quicker it works for you. I will also help you with mapping out a funnel that will make inbound leads knock your door as soon as possible, as quickly as possible. That is my promise. I'll help you with video ideas. I'll help you with recording and editing the videos after all this process. And again, like this whole thing, as you can see, this presentation is not fancy. There's no like flying stuff. There's no like crazy background. Like all these creators like no production whatsoever, because I want to show you I'm doing this in a very basic way in order to illustrate that this works even with a very basic setup without anything fancy, or you wouldn't be watching this part here with me right now. I only want to take 3 people for this thing now in order to test what's worked, and it's working for me. Just 3 people. It's a very affordable investment, and you will get it back the moment you get your first client if you charge anywhere from $1,000 per month. And out of those 40 plus organic leads that you'll be getting from YouTube every single month, you can imagine that if you've been in the business for 3 plus years, if you know your ICP, you've got the track record, and getting that one client is like pretty likely, yeah, to say the least. But before I get into this limited program, I need to make sure you are a fit so we don't waste each other's time and your money. So please go ahead, click the link below, answer a few questions, and let's chat over a call to make sure it's a good fit. Makes sense. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you waste my time if we both know it's not going to work out. So if you feel like it, go ahead, click the link, check out what I got there, answer the questions. Let's have a call. And then during the call, we'll see if it's feasible for you and if it makes sense for me as well to take you. Okay, go ahead, click the link, fill out the questions, and let's have a call. Okay, what if you watch this entire video and you're in a bit of a doubt? You're like, okay, shall I book the call? That's what I'm looking for. Shall I book it or shall I not? If that's the case with you, go ahead, still click the link, fill out the questionnaire. I got a few questions to ask you. Then we get on a call and then we talk. And I will help you out. I will map out the strategy for YouTube and LinkedIn for yourself so you will know how to proceed, whether you choose to work with me or if you wish to go solo. So whatever it is, you will get a lot of benefit from this call because I will share the ideal path for you to take. And if it makes sense for you, if you feel like you need my help, to save hours of time and figuring out the stuff on your own, I will be able to help you out if there's a fit. Go ahead, book the call, and looking forward to helping you out.